Alright, you know the truth now. So tell me, Denji, just how do you plan to escape? What's up, guys? I'm a Pencil here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 184 of Chainsaw Metal, which is known as Run, Denji, Run! And I'm interested to see why this man has to run. Honestly, last chapter was just nice. Like, we've had moments of Denji, like, starting to acknowledge all the terrible things he's been through, and, like, acknowledging the fact that he hasn't acknowledged the fact that he's been through a bunch of terrible things. But last chapter actually allowed us to, like, sit with it and realize it and have him understand what Bushido was doing for him and understand what his friends would have hoped for him and all that. Like, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Like, especially considering part 2 has mostly been Asa's story. That extra doubles down on the fact that Denji really hasn't had the time to, like, sit down and consider everything he's been going through. So the fact that we actually got a chapter fully based around that is nice. And I'm happy to see how they're going to work together one way or another to get out of this timeless void one way or another. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. Heading me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, that's the most I'm hitting. Right now, if you can't tell, I am quite congested. I am slowly but surely recovering from something. Like, gosh, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, God, I was hoping to not. Like, I like recording, and this is a busy recording week. Like, I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to record, and I'm going to sound nasally. But unfort. Let's not waste more time. Let's actually hop right into chapter 184, Run, Denji. So they went back to the Mri guy. So wait, does that tree, is that also a tree person, or is that just a regular tree? Question of the day, does that also have a face that he's currently digging his fingers into? I don't know. But, why do I look so locked in right now? This is the most locked in I've ever seen Asa. And Denji, he looking locked in too. Okay, I see y'all. Let's see. Oh, never mind. I thought Asa was locked in. She's legit just sitting down. All right. Oh, she got her shirt back, though. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh. I always get jump scared. I'm like, wait. You two together? Separate? Let's see. He's been running laps around the lake ever since he said he has a plan. Any idea? He didn't explain it? Okay, admittedly. That's for us, obviously. But, like, he didn't explain it? He just started dashing? I mean, I get... Like, that's the thing, right? How much license or knowledge or anything would Denji have to give to Asa that would actually allow her to help? Especially considering specifically Yoru's powers have no effect in this world. So really it is all on Denji right now. And unless, like, the plan is to make him keep throwing up stuff, I don't think Asa could really help with that. Or Yoru. They kind of are just forced to sit down and watch, but still it's crazy to see Denji hitting the dash. So interestingly, he's feeling physical exertion here. Like, he's sweating, which I really wouldn't think would happen in this realm, considering everything's so, like, perfect, in quotation marks. You figure time wouldn't pass enough for your body to build up the lactic acid and burn the energy to sweat. Hey, that's fine. Let's see. Yoru has no... She's like, I have no idea. Nor do I really care. And honestly, I just wish I hadn't pointed my spagooter at that thing's face and it dropped it. But let's see. He's probably the same as that man. He's fleeing from reality. But like, if he was, he'd probably be running further into the forest. He's specifically doing laps around the lake in particular. So, like, probably not. And hey, if anything, what are you doing? Just sitting down and accepting reality? Like, ultimately, you're not helping. I mean, and neither is Asa, but like, you especially, you gave up quick. I mean, I don't blame her, because, like, how do you fight the embodiment of aging? I have no clue. I have no idea how you would do that. Like, I get why ultimately the only way for it to get gone is if Chainsaw Man itself were to willingly befed it. Like, legit, it gave up itself. So I can't blame Yoru for giving up at the same time. It's not like you're doing much of anything either. Let's see. He's fleeing from reality. He's doing the dash. He's making it go fast. Forget the fame. All he wants is them bit. Oh. Good to see you, aging. Is there any particular reason you had to pop out of that man's face? Like, once again, how much of this is like a domain expansion? How much of this is literally like an entirely separate world? Like, I think of the two... How do I put this? I think of the two different, like, world spaces or, like, worlds that a character can create in two main forms. It's either the Seven Deadly Sins way or the JJK way. Because, of course, those are the two main things that I always think about. But, with it being the case, in JJK, you create a construct out of your own energy. And then that is what formulates the world. Now, aging, considering how powerful they should be as they are a primordial feeler, Lord, as they are our primordial fear, should have enough energy to maintain a construct like this passively. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that's, like, literally just what they're doing. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if this truly was, like, a Seven Deadly Sins type beat. Where as long as one of the deities creates a world, it is, like, it's entirely autonomous, fully self-functioning thing for the most part, that the deity can choose to enter and leave at will. Like, for domain expansion, you aren't really allowed to leave it without automatically shutting it down. Whether it be barriered or open barriered, we've never seen even the open barriered ones, like, their user leave the range of it, because presumably they do need to be inside it for it to still function. But aging, it seems like they're more in the latter case, where they can kind of just pop in and pop out, considering this is the first time they made an appearance, if this is aging. But I presume, based on the design, it is aging. Hey, there you are, Denji. Let's see. Or, aging? The reality of your situation. Oh, wait.
In fact, I have access to the sick boy, so let me see.
That's the thing. Like, the nasaliness is coming up here, but sometimes when I'm sick, specifically with sore throat, which I think I do have, but then again, it's been getting better throughout the day. It'll give me access to, like, a different range of voices. You've heard it. Like, you've heard it on the channel before. I've recorded one sick before. And it gives me, like, an extra voice range that I would specifically try to do for aging, but for some reason I can't access it. I think I have too much of my normal... I'm in that horrid spot. Not as bad as, like, peak sickness, but I'm in that horrid spot where, like, I'm functional. I can do things. But any of, like, the quote-unquote perks of being sick, like alternate voices, are gone. So, like, I don't know. Let me see if I can hit the aging voice real quick. The reality of your situation ought to have sunk in by now. I'll give you a chance. Oh! So, then again, I wonder, from aging's perspective, how much time has passed? Like, if you are, like, that's the one thing about being, like, omnipresent, or, like, existing across multiple times. Like, how do you even measure that? Like, obviously, time is a fabrication of ourselves in order to rationalize the consistent destruction of our own bodies and the universe, right? Like, time, we joke about time travel, but, like, realistically, when you think about it, it'd kind of be, like, impossible if it's one timeline theory, and also kind of impossible if it's multi-timeline theory. Because ultimately, you are never traveling to your own past, or realistically your own future. Because if you do travel to the past, bootstrap paradox, or grandfather paradox, something, like, that's a closed time loop at best. And then when you travel to the future, you're also messing things up, just in a less specific way to yourself, but for people in the future. Like, it's still strange regardless. But, like, for a being that exists all across time, all across reality, that just is, how does that work? I actually don't know. Like, that'd be weird. Like, has it been 10 minutes for them? Has it been 10 millennia? I don't know. But considering the guy's still here, it probably hasn't been that long in that realm. But if Chainsaw Man's body's still out, like they theorized last chapter, then technically it could have been no more than, like, 5 minutes. Who knows? Like, how did AJ expect them to... How did AJ expect that thing? How did AJ expect that to make... How did that little time passing make aging believe that Asa and Denji, or War and Chainsaw Man, have matured enough to actually interact with them? I don't know. Kind of weird. But let's see. I'll give you a chance. Do as I say, and I'll save you. I think, you know what? Actually, I just thought about it. I bet since they are the concept of time, they probably feel time the most. Because, like, the whole reason they even want to be eaten by Chainsaw Man is because they're tired of existing. Right? Right? Like, and I think, like, we've seen people want to use Chainsaw Man's powers to erase other Ds, but I don't think we've ever seen a D themselves be like, Chainsaw Man, let me spread it open for you. Like, no one's ever, like, asked for it. But aging's asking for it, likely because they are so bored. And they just want to cease. But ultimately, I wonder if they just, like... The next question becomes, in Chainsaw Man's stomach, what is that like? Because we know it doesn't erase you. Ultimately, it's like... Someone described it perfectly in last week's comment section. I forget how they described it. But, like, essentially it is like a pocket dimension. Which kind of, like, separates the concept from the real world, but doesn't actually erase the concept. At least so far temporarily. For the most recent ones that Denji/Pochita have consumed, ultimately the concept itself does not get erased. It just gets stored somewhere inside them. Which makes me wonder if the little separate pocket dimension that removes the concept from the main world, or even the general world, even has the capability to, like, be, like, fully erased. Like, does Pochita actually have a way to get full? Do they have a way to store? Like, is there a storage limit? Do they digest things? I don't know. But with that being the case, ultimately, it's highly likely that aging would just be trading one purgatory, one endless existence for another endless existence. Considering, like, the D's are still very much alive. Or the concepts themselves are still very much alive when they're inside Chainsaw Man. And that's with a much weaker set of concepts, right? Like snow, mouths, not the concept of aging itself. So, like, I'd imagine they'd just be stuck there permanently. But it looks like Denji's completely ignoring them. Alright, let's see. I know they're so sick and tired of, like, why? Ugh, these nasty tree people. That is cool. So they do have complete dominion. So I feel like it has the properties of what the Seven Deadly Sins characters do. Or at least the gods do when they create worlds. But at the same time, it is like JJK, where they do have basic... Well, actually, no, it's kind of unique from JJK. It is more so like a pseudo-omnipresence, which is kind of like, ironically enough, leaping into another series I really like, Pokemon, where, like, Arceus is kind of everywhere and nowhere. Like, he's just there. He is omnipresent in his own world, which is, you know, the Pokemon creation. Same thing with, like, Dialga and Palkia. They can kind of disappear. You see their avatars all the time, but they're technically always there. And if they aren't, world breaks. But for aging, they can pop out anywhere in this world, like it's a domain that they constructed that they have complete control over. And also, they still don't seem tied to the world itself. Very similar to how the Seven Deadly Sins deities can just create a realm and even be completely eradicated, like erased from reality. And still, their realms will maintain themselves, unlike a domain expansion. Let's see. Your heart should be connected to the Chainsaw Man in the real world. I want you to convince him to eat me. Huh? What's with that? What do you get out of it? At the end, to a very, very boring existence, I presume. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I would... If someone would give me, like, 5 minutes of it, I'd wonder, like, man, maybe it'd be cool to be, like, all-powerful, or unstoppable, or unbeatable, like, truly an infinite creature, or something like that, like, but I feel like it'd get boring, right? Like, if you know everything, if you are everything, or if you are unstoppable, doesn't it get, like, annoying, or boring, like, after a while? Like, it'd be fun, for, like, maybe the first couple years, but then, like, oh, it's a little bit boring now. Like, there's nothing in life that can challenge you, and ultimately you just have to keep fulfilling the role that you would naturally get as the most powerful being. Like, the whole concept of the burden of strength, like, that gets explored in JJK very, very well. It gets explored a bit in God of High School. Well, actually, quite a bit in God of High School. Actually, quite a lot in God of High School. Never mind, I said a bit, but now I think that, like, half the dark characters in that series had to struggle with the concept of power or lack thereof, or especially supremacy, and the boredom that comes with it. And honestly, I'd say Chainsaw Man doesn't actually have that too much, when I think about it. Like, notably, every single supreme being that we've met so far, or, like, near supreme being, essentially, like darkness, like falling, like, they still have, like, the zest and flavor for life, but aging seems just generally done. Like, they're, like, bored and want out. Let's see. Huh? What's with that? What do you get out of it? Boop. Many children are to be slain as I'm eaten. That's it. All you need to do is sacrifice the lives of children, and you'll be saved. That's a weird... Okay, so that's a completely different motivation. Why? That seems so random. But I doubt Denji will do that. Like, maybe he's down for that, but I highly doubt that. Like, he'd probably just keep trying to figure his own way out. Of course, the thing is, right, they get out, hallelujah, they can just immediately be trapping it. Like, I still don't... Like, ultimately, I don't think Yoru nor Denji will suddenly grow powerful enough to defeat aging. Honestly, the question is, how will they be able to get aging off their backs? What will they be able to do to ward aging off? Because I highly doubt sacrificing the children is on Denji's mind. Definitely not on Asa's mind. And probably okay for Yoru, because she doesn't care. But still. And by the way, like, Denji. Or no, aging. What control does he have over that? Like, they're gonna sack the children regardless. Like, he cannot control that. Let's see. Denji? Ooh, he's speeding up. Wow, you're one evil D. Chainsaw Man's a superhero, dude. Has it occurred to you that Pochita didn't eat you because he isn't willing to slaughter kids to save himself? That is it. And also, I think Pochita can just think of the drastic ramification. Like, immortality sounds fun. I feel like I've had this discussion many times ever since aging's been introduced. Immortality sounds fun. Nothing ever aging sounds fun until overpopulation. Until nothing moves. Until everything stops. Like legitimately, obviously there are levels to the extremity of what would occur if the concept of aging was removed from the universe. But like, existence is aging. Yeah, right? Like the creation itself is aging. And to cease that, the sun would stop shining. Water would stop running. Time would stop. Like, everything would cease. And ultimately, Pochita may not just be doing it because he's a superhero, but also just because he understands maybe there's some things you shouldn't erase. And especially when you think about some of the things that Pochita did erase, like, there are some random things in there, but he erased a lot of, like, bad things. Of course, that could, and probably did, lead to some cycles repeating, but, like, ultimately, we repeat cycles in our own real world, even though we have history to show us how things should be done. Or how things shouldn't be done. So, like, we repeat cycles regardless. So, Pochita eating only, like, negative things, or mostly negative things, actually makes a decent chunk of sense when you think about it. But that, too, that could be a reason. But I feel like there's more. I feel like there has to be some sort of deeper reason for aging wanting to be devoured. Not just, I want to slaughter kids for the fun of it. But let's see. You seem awfully optimistic again. Problem? Not really. I'm simply surprised. You've moved on this quickly. Hey, got what you want. He matured in a roundabout way. Didn't you just find out your family member died? If you've already bounced back, you can't have loved her very much. Oh! That's I see what you do. But like now you're just making it work. Like, honestly, I get aging's, like, once again, maybe I don't get their full infinite desire. Like, I really thought it was, I do not like existing because existing is boring and I'm too powerful for this, so get me out of here. But instead of that, it seems like aging, you want him on your side. You want him to work with you. So by provoking him with the, but then again, it's a D, right? So it probably doesn't fully understand human emotion to some degree, but like, you know that would just make things worse, right? Like, make him even more reluctant to work with you, to have Pochita devour you in order to activate his arrangement. Like, that's like the opposite of the move. If anything, you want to beguile him. You want to be like, hey, yeah, she may be gone, but I could bring her back. All I would need to do is undo the aging process that underwent for her. I could bring her back. That Aki boy, that power girl, I could bring them all back. I just need you to give yourself to me, to be consumed. Like, legit, like that, like, you play a smarter game there if you move like that. By just provoking him with the loss of Nayuta, like, if anything, you're just gonna make him even more hardline stance against you. Let's see what Denji's response is. His matured response is. He's booking it. You wouldn't know nonsense about our relationship. Yeah, but you know what? At some point, I'll find family again somewhere. Ain't that, like, it sounds so rough and coarse when he says it like that, but yeah, it's true. That's ultimately the thing, right? I mentioned this a lot last chapter, but if you're alive, you got to keep living. And ultimately, the people who not necessarily left you behind, but the people who were taken from you, unless they didn't like you for some reason, they would also want you to keep living. They would also want you to keep being happy. They would want you to keep enjoying the gift that can only be given once. It can be taken away at any time. And thusly, yeah, you'll find family again. Find friends again, find connections again, even if you find yourself completely alone. That's the beauty of people. There are a lot of us, and ultimately you'll be able to find someone you can call family, someone you can call a friend. So I'm glad that he's realized that. Ultimately, while it is a sick and twisted cycle he goes through, a cycle of losing and gaining and losing and gaining and losing and gaining and losing and gaining, he's not so much focused on the loss, even though he's acknowledged it. Rather, he's focused on everything that he can gain in the future. Because you got to keep living. And if they die too, I'll find another new family. Tough luck, bad guys. I can make a perpetual motion machine. I'm shocked he knows that word. Is that I said? I am shocked that he knows the word perpetual. But yeah, it's an unfortunate way to look at things in a roundabout sense, because he like knows like, oh no, my author's Fujimoto. I will lose whatever new family I get. But he's like, yeah. He really is embodying the phrase "it be like that when it be like that" sometimes, especially when it be like that, and is pushing forward on that. And I respect that, right? He's matured, he's accepted it. And I wonder if Age is gonna be like, I can't manipulate you anymore, get out. But he leaves Asa. Let's see. If you want to do something to my heart, then give me a family again. Got it? Hey, what I was talking about? You could rewind time. I thought the human chainsaw man would listen to reason, but he's even more stupid. I mean, yeah, once again, like, Pochita is sentient. Like, it's hard to remember, especially whenever he goes into, like, full Chainsaw Man mode where he doesn't speak, but, like, he is sentient. He can speak, he has thoughts. But I would say he's definitely the smarter of the two, which is crazy considering, like, you know, he's like, mostly a primordial ancient dog. But still, let's see. He's even more stupid. Tell me, what exactly do you plan to do? Surely you don't think you can run your way out of here. He's stopping? Did he not consider that? Oh, okay. Is he getting hungry? Is he gonna like make Pochita Man He's gonna make Chainsaw Man in the real world eat more? Like I'm actually interested. What is the plan here? He's sweating and he's getting tired, but you're the stupid one, stupid. My escape plan's already in motion. All right. I can't wait to see what it is. We already done the chapters every day, so Fujimoto is cooking. Overall. A W chapter. Ultimately, this is a chapter I think mostly meant to show off how much Denji's perspective on life and the loss of it has changed, right? And how even when proposed with an offer to take the easy path, right, which is something that he's been offered many times before, he now runs and defiance from it. He has an easy way out. He just has to sacrifice people. Hey, that's not bad, right? But ultimately, Denji has grown beyond the point where he's like, oh yeah, whatever, I'll just take the easy way because it seemed the most simple and it's presented to me by a higher power. Now he's willing to understand that, hey, life is just like life. Sometimes you do keep losing. Sometimes you do keep suffering. Sometimes you do keep going through it. Ultimately, sometimes you just got to keep moving forward, no matter what. Honestly, I think that's beautiful in its own way. But with that being the case, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave Motion Machine Perpetual. Flip that bad boy around. Machine Motion Perpetual. I think it said Motion Machine Perpetual, but Machine Motion Perpetual in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you support me for as low as $1 no monthly. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 monthly, get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions, the series I have to review, ad-free variations of roleplay videos, and we coming to $25 on Patreon and $25 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, I have a link to my Ko-Fi description down below where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That with a Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A plus A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Euchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final, gracious, gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.